John, can you hear me now? You were getting in and out of class. John? Probably experienced.
Are you there?
Oh yeah, we are here. Oh, I was, I saw you got in and out and in and out. I guess you had experienced some technical issues.
Yeah, I'm fine. I wanted to know, Tunnel, about the markings that go on with the accents and all that.
Okay.
Not the vowel pointings, but the other
Yeah,
little
the te'amim. They're called the te'amim. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so let's put the te'amim a little bit and talk a little bit about te'amim. Betsy, you'll choose though which biblical verse will serve for the discussion about the te'amim. Any preferences for that?
No.
Okay, so if you can ask your question, maybe I can do both in the same time.
My question was, I want to know about the form of the word ne'ilah. Is it a noun?
Yeah, that's a noun with a feminine ending, ne'ilah.
What is the yud in the middle of the root,
It's part of the pattern. Pattern of nouns also have patterns.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, it's a feminine noun, oftentimes used for abstract for the abstract or in the gerund looking. Okay, ne'ilah. So okay. John, let's take.
Do the parashat that had the akev in it, Netanel.
Oh, we can do that. We can do Emmanuel. Which verses did you want to read and not read? We can take those.
I could read. Yes, I'll try.
Okay, so let's take the previous parasha akev. Though we always try to keep our eyes to what's gonna come, not what's what we had, but no problem. Let's see akev and beautiful blessings at the beginning of this parasha. So that would be.
What does parasha mean?
Okay, parasha is a paragraph or a portion, specifically being literally these words and specifically referring to the weekly portion we read every week in the synagogue. So that's the parasha. Literally, it means like the matter of. Okay, you can see that in the book of Esther. We have that the word parasha. Okay, so we are talking about the te'amim, and let's see, and we're using the beginning of the previous weekly portion, the portion of Ekev, to talk about the te'amim. So first of all, let's mark the te'amim that we have here to understand what we're talking about, because indeed one of the most intimidating things for students of Hebrew is that they come and they see, okay, they're told, oh, there are 22 letters, 23 consonants. Okay, you manage them. That's the beauty of alphabetical writing. It's not as complicated as the previous systems. It's a very simple system that enables many people to become literate in these languages and with these scripts, as opposed to, by the way, Akkadian, which is much more difficult cuneiform script. Okay, so you've got the alphabet letters. These are the letters themselves. Alongside the letters, we have the vowel pointings. Okay, so if the letters, they go back to biblical times, the vowel pointing goes back to roughly the concept started 7th, 8th, 9th century. Okay, alongside the vowel pointing, there is another system, and that's the system of the te'amim. Te'amim, the word ta'am has various meanings. One of them is sense or flavor. Okay, and these are the ones that I'm now highlighting in orange, right? That's what you were asking about, John?
Yes, it was.
Right. These are the parts of the text that are not the letters and not the vowel pointings. These are the ta'amim. Okay. The ta'amim have various uses. Okay. We'll talk about 3 uses of the ta'amim. Okay. One, they tell us usually what is the accented syllable. So you know how the accent in Hebrew can be either on the last syllable or the second to last syllable. And it's important. Let me give you an English example of why it is important. Okay. Okay. Can you read aloud this word, John?
Yeah, invalid.
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 Invalid. I know.
It could also be
That's it.
invalid.
Right.
Right? So the place of the stress of the word changes the meaning of the word in this example.
Right.
Okay? The ta'amim, one of the uses of the ta'amim is to tell us where indeed the stress is. Okay? And you'll notice that most of these, I'll just show you, most of these are on the last syllable, which means next to the last vowel of the word, like here, and 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 here, okay, and here, and here, and right, in most of these. However, some of these are on the second to last. You can see here, second to last. Okay, you can see here, second to last. You can see here, second to last. Okay, so these are all of the words that have a penultimate accent. Hebrew doesn't have a pre-penultimate accent. Hebrew doesn't have invalid. In Hebrew, you could only have invalid, that is a penultimate accent, or invalid, okay, which we, okay, don't have in English. So Hebrew, unlike English, unlike Greek, basically doesn't have a pre-penultimate accent, okay? That's the place of the accent in the word. Okay, so John, that is one use of the ta'amim. Essentially, again, there are exceptions for that, but I'm talking about the general rule. The ta'am tells you where the accented syllable is. So I know that when I read the word here, tzonecha, I know it is tzonecha and not tzonecha. Okay? The way I distinguish it, think about like which vowel is stressed more, is elongated a little bit more than the others. Okay? So that's the first use, okay, the place of the stress of the word. The second use of the ta'amim is the way we use punctuation marks in English. Okay, so in English we have period, we have a semicolon, we have a comma, we have
Colon.
colon, we have parenthesis, we have all kinds of marks that we add, punctuation marks that we add to the text. As you can see, we don't have them in the Hebrew.
Right.
But we do have something that is a little bit equivalent, and that is the ta'amim. Now the tamim work in a kind of a tricky system. It's not as simple as having an objective value. Okay, it's not that I can tell you every time you see a specific tam, I know exactly if I should render it as a colon or a comma or a semicolon or a period or what have you, or a question mark or an exclamation mark. Okay, I cannot do it. Okay, but what we can do is, first of all, we'll talk about the division of the tamim into two groups of conjunctive and disjunctive. And then we'll talk a little bit about the system by which it works. It's a unique system, quite unique, surprising. Okay. So we have two groups of tamim, okay? Conjunctive and disjunctive. Tamim that causes us to connect the words, and tamim that cause us to separate the words. Okay? Traditionally, in traditional Hebrew grammar, they're known as kings and servants. Okay? Or there are different terminology, but the English is conjunctive and disjunctive. I'll mark all of the conjunctive in green. You know why? Some of you already know because you've heard me talking about the tamim in the past, right? Why?
Go.
Like in a traffic light. Green means go. So this means go, this means go, this means go, this means go, this means go. Okay. This means go, this means go, this, okay, this, this.
What do you mean by go?
I'll explain in a second. Okay. When
Looks like everything that opens up to the left, right?
Come again?
Anything that opens up to the left, whether it be a comma or a backward L.
Roughly, I'm not sure that we can. There is, first of all, generally you're right. There are, though. Would you say this is open to the left or not? I don't know. But this is also conjunctive. Okay, but anyway, when I say go, I mean that it is telling us that we should continue the reading without any pause. Okay, John?
Sure, okay.
Very good. Now, the rest of the tamim here on screen are disjunctive, which means they say pause. However, you understand that pauses may be 2 different degrees. Okay, you may pause like Netanyahu pauses for a standing ovation in the joint session of the houses, right? He gives them like a pause. I told you that. Listen, spoken by a person who doesn't vote Netanyahu. I found myself listening to him talking to the joint session of the Houses of Congress, and I was driving my car alone, and I find myself in the traffic light, and all of a sudden I find myself clapping. Nobody around, me clapping to him because I heard him in the radio, and that's spoken by a person who doesn't vote for him. I highly appreciate him. Anyway, that's different pauses. We said different pauses. Some of the pauses are stronger, like a pause at the end of a verse. Okay, this pause at the end of a verse is a strong pause. Okay. Also, very strong pause is this one that looks like a het with a point above. This is called the atnach. the end of the verse is either called sof pasuk, which is literally end of a verse, or called siluk, okay, which is also related to end, okay. This is called the atnach or the etnachta as well. Now, there are smaller pauses, okay, which we can go with like orange and yellow and so forth and so on. Now, the system of the ta'amim is a little tricky. Why is it tricky? Because the pause, the division is like a binary system. Okay, do you know what a binary system is, John?
Yes, 1 and 0. 1 means go, 0 means stop.
Right, but the concept of binary is to divide something into two, and you're right. You're 1 and 0 is a division into two. Okay, right. And by dividing something on the basis of two, you can represent obviously anything. Like this is how computers work, right? You just call 0 0, let's say, and 1 you call it 1, okay, and 2 you call it 0 1, and 0 0 0 1 0 0 1. Okay, so you can represent by the division into two. You can represent all kinds of things. Now, think of a system. Okay, the explanation I give is of a general in the army. Okay, this general cannot appoint anything other than colonels. Okay, he cannot make you a lieutenant. If you're appointed by the general, you're a colonel. Okay, so the general has several divisions under him. Okay, and every commander of every division, let's say, is actually a general himself, but for the purpose of the example, he has several brigades, and every commander of every brigade is a colonel. Makes sense, right? But let's say the general wants to appoint a secretary. That secretary, because he was appointed by a general, not because of his own responsibilities, would also be a colonel. Are you with me? Are you with me, John?
I think so. You're talking about two different streams.
Right. Yeah. So when we divide the verse in the middle by the atnach and by the siluk, they are the highest level. They're called emperors. They can appoint kings. So the next division is to a king. This is considered to be a king, and this is considered to be a king. Okay? But then in the smaller unit that is still governed by the same emperor, okay, I'll just manage the verses so they would make more sense as far as the structure according to the ta'amim, so you see how they contribute to the syntax as well. Okay, bear with me. Okay, here. Okay, so you can see okay, you can see the emperors. This is an emperor, this is an emperor, and it makes, when it breaks into two, the smaller half, it makes a king. Okay, the king make seconds, and the seconds make thirds. Okay, but when the emperor itself, after dividing his kingdom into two parts, okay, again, let's do it. This divides the verse into half. So we call it all of this A and all of this B. Okay. And then we have a division here. So this would be A1 and this would be A2. This would be B1 and this would be B2. Now, when the emperor here wants to appoint a secretary, wants to have a shorter pause here, it still has to make, this is considered to be a king. Now, I know it's a little bit of a complicated issue. My point is that because of the peculiarity of this system, where every disjunctive level can appoint only the following level of disjunctive term, sometimes you have a small pause considered to be a highly disjunctive term. Okay, are you with me? I know it's not a very
Yeah. Yes.
come again.
Are you talking about things in tiers? Or
Yeah,
streams?
I'm talking about tiers of disjunctivity or tiers of te'amim. According there is what we call emperors, kings, seconds, and thirds. Okay, but what I was trying to make a point here is to explain that there is not a perfect correlation between the tier and the actual pause represented by that tier, because of each tier being able to appoint only the following tier. So the emperors can make kings, and the kings can make seconds, and the seconds can make third. Sometimes especially in a long verse, you can have a pause that is of a lower tier, but actually should represent a longer pause, and vice versa as well. You have a short pause, for instance, here, but it takes a high tier. This is considered to be a king. Why? Because it was appointed, it is close to the emperor. Okay? So maybe I got into too much details for the purpose of your question, but the second use of the tamim is syntactical division. Okay, when the most important ones to remember are the siluk, the etnach, and anywhere you see two or more dots above the word. Okay, so if you remember these, you already have a very good basis for the division of the verse into smaller units, which makes it easier to swallow. Okay?
Does it matter what letter they're over? Does it have to be the second root letter?
No. No, the placement of the tom tells you where the accented syllable is. So you know this word is ha'ele and not ha'ele. And you know this is ha'chesed and not ha'chesed. Okay? And you know that this is otam and not otam. Or la'avotecha and not la'avotecha. Okay? The placement of the tam is telling you where the accented syllable is, and that's use number one that we've talked about. Okay.
What about the second use? What is
that? That's the division. That's the division according to the syntactical use. That's the punctuation marks. Okay, like a comma, a period, a comma, and a period. Okay. Oh, you wouldn't even maybe in English you wouldn't add a comma here, but it's a pause. It's some type of a pause. So the ta'amim tell you where you should pause and where you should not pause, which is basically the uses of the punctuation marks in English, right? To tell you how to perform. Yeah, John.
What do they tell regarding the second usage to make a syntactical, separation, where do you put the tamim? Is it on the first letter, second root letter,
No,
third
no,
root
no, no,
letter?
no, 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 no. It doesn't matter where they're positioned. It doesn't
Okay.
matter if it doesn't matter where they are above the wood. The placement
Okay.
above the wood is telling us the accented syllable.
Stress. Okay,
Okay,
sure.
the stress. And the type of the tam is telling us that we should either pause or continue. Okay? And again, the ones that you should remember is this, and this, roughly. Okay, these are the most important. If you have to choose, and really this one doesn't count because it's already at the end of the verse and you would pause anyway. Okay, so remember this one, the one that looks like a hat, a pointy hat, it's called atnach, which literally is rest. Rest. Atnach or etnachta, there are different names. So either atnach or atnachta, different traditions, but the same name, which means rest literally. So that's the meaning of this word. And this is called zakef katon. When you see these two dots above the word, also common and also a significant pause. Okay? So that's the second one. Third one, and here comes a disclaimer. You know why? Because the third use is for melodical purposes. And that means that I'm gonna sing it now for you guys. And hence the disclaimer. Okay. You can take out the banjo or whatever you okay. But listen, I want to tell you that you're relatively okay, benign, because my guys at the synagogue, they have to suffer me reading the whole portion every week. So you're good, or yeah. Monaco, yeah.
So is this going to be the end of the lesson? Because we have a saying that's it isn't over. It ain't over till the fat lady.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I saw this coming. I saw this coming. Listen, today I can identify as whatever, I can identify as a thin person. I identify as a thin person, right? You didn't see that coming, John, right?
Yeah, I didn't see that coming at all.
I took it to a different place. Right. Okay. But I'll read this nonetheless.
Uh-oh.
והיה עקב תשמעון את המשפטים האלה ושמרתם ועשיתם אותם ושמר אדוני אלוהיך לך את הברית ואת החסד אשר נשבע לאבותיך ואהבך וברכך והרבך וברך פרי בטנך ופרי אדמתך לגנך ותירושך ויצהרך שגר אלפיך ועשתרות צונך על האדמה אשר נשבע לאבותיך לתת לך. Okay, I did these two verses. Thank you very much, Betsy. You're ever so kind. Yeah?
Just a question. Is it accepted among all the Sephardic, the Yemen group, and all groups go with the same?
No. Each group does it differently as far as the melody, but all groups do it exactly the same as far as the division. That is to say, I might sing it a little bit different, but I would pause exactly like anyone else. Okay, they would have a different melody, but the same pauses. Okay, so uses 1 plus 2, they are identical by everybody. Again, when I say everybody, I mean everybody who knows what they're doing, okay? Because you can hear all kinds of people doing whatever they want, and that's nice. But it should be identical in all traditions, generally speaking. And use and the third one for the melody, there are some similarities, but still there are differences of different traditions. Just to give you okay. So for instance, you see how this has the same like diamond shape sign above it, and this one has the same diamond shape, and this one has the same diamond shape. So I'll read them with a melody, and you'll see it's the same melody for each.
What do you mean by same diamond shape?
Oh, just look at the shape that is above the letter. It looks like a diamond. This
Are there
It looks like a dot
are there
on my
certain
screen.
tamim
Okay.
that
It depends on your eyesight.
right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there
Okay,
certain tamim?
Oh, now I can
Sorry.
see it. Yes.
Certain tamim that what?
Are there certain tamim that are peculiar to one, and also those that are peculiar to two, and also ones for the third category?
Yeah. The tamim or come again? I'm not sure.
What is like the the little over here on the mock tem on verse 13, looks like a little scope over here on the left hand side. You see that? I don't know what these marks mean, or whether they're peculiar. Some are
Mike,
peculiar
the
to category
magnifying
one.
glass over
Matecha.
Admatecha.
This
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
This is called Telisha Gedola. It is yeah, I can. There are 26 different tamim. They have like this is a disjunctive, not a very strong disjunctive tam. and if you want, I'll send, God willing. I don't know if I get to it this week, but I'll send maybe some YouTube of people who are a little bit more gifted musically than myself so you can listen to them singing it, just so you get how the same melody is married to different words. I'll read these three words. In the tam above them is called the revi'i or revi'a, and I'll perform it in the melody that we traditionally ascribe to this tam in the reading of the Torah. The name, as I said, is Revi'i, so I'll just Revi'i Tishme'un Lecha V'yitarecha. Okay, V'shamar Adonai Elohecha Lecha Revi'i Tishme'un V'yitarecha. So every time I have this sign, I would sing it in the same melody. You get the idea.
I got it. I got exactly what the tom determines what melody fits with that word.
Right, exactly.
Okay, all right. Very interesting. And if you get another different tom, then you get a different melody, and you would know how to
let
sing
me
it.
let me demonstrate another construction. Sometimes there are certain tamim that go together. Okay. Hamishpatim ha'ele et haberit ve'et hachesed. Okay, you see that they have the
Those two dots.
pashta katon,
The comma, those two dots.
katon, et
Right.
hamishpatim ha'ele et haberit ve'et hachesed. Okay, and that's the concept. Now you can go back to all of my YouTube videos of the weekly portion and check if I'm doing it right. Okay, right, guys. As always, good to see everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the beautiful questions, and I will see you next week.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you,
Tom.
Thank
Nathaniel.
you. Very comprehensive.
Yeah, that's
Thank
great.
Thank you very much. I felt that I'm losing you somewhere with different tiers of the Tamim, but you know, you did well. You survived.
I've got it.
No,
I've got it.
Much
Great.
more understanding.
Okay, very good.
Can we have the link to this?
Yeah, I'll probably put it on my YouTube video channel or something, and I'll send the link. But it might not be like I have a very busy week, so I hope I'll get to it. Generally, I'll do it. Okay, sometime. Okay.
'Cause this was very comprehensive. It helped.
Yeah,
Okay,
very good.
this guys, this is why I want to combine my text courses with these after school hours. So if a student has a question which we cannot linger upon in the class, they can come here and ask, and I think it's a good combination. So thank you all for making it possible.
Yes,
Shalom.
very good.
Shalom.
Thank you, Shalom.
Oh, guys,
Bye.
I sent everybody. If you have people you want, I'm going to Jerusalem this week. I'll be in the Western Wall. I'll be in Jerusalem. I'm taking the kids. So if you need anyone prayers or something, send it. I send you an email. You're more than welcome to. If you know other people who might have and they want to use that link, I'll be at the. I'll take the time to mention everyone that is on that list in the Western Wall, and I'm gonna beat the previous record, which was 76 people who asked me to pray for them. So let's make it bigger. Okay, excellent.
Very good.
All
Sure.
right. Thank
Bye bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Bye-bye.
Shalom.